do is just so we complete the ChatGPT and AI car talking, and also we have already done avoid collision and following user. So just link the core, just do the main core. That's all. Yeah, just so yeah, try the main core, but camera is broken. Sorry.
Hi. I I'm afraid of a car that has emotion because maybe it gets angry at me if I don't do oil change in time or something, and then it could try to hurt me. So, can you reassure me anything about your design?
Design about what?
I I don't want it to get if it has emotion. I'm worried it's gonna get angry at me, and then not just follow me, but do more than that. You understand? So how can you design about that issue?
That so uh, I I think you mean the how apply the angry to this car, right? Right? So yeah, we are now prototyping, and the duration for development is so short. So we use just two emotion, sad and happy. Then after that, we try to apply the angry. It, yeah, angry emotion. I got it. I got it. So we have a safety net. So when this about yeah, we use the ChatGPT. ChatGPT is so nice guy. He won't kill person. It's okay. Sorry.
Yeah, hello. Another question similar to that, design aspect. It is same the topic I touched upon in my talk also. In suppose the car has to decide, the camera is not working. Suppose the brake is not working in your car, so it has to hit some person who is in front of it. So it may be a old man or a baby. So in case of a situation like that, there is two people in front of the car which has brake failure, and it is supposed to hit one of them. Which one it will select, whether the baby or the old man?
Maybe ChatGPT decide that.
Good answer. Good answer. All right. Yeah. So that's funny that Balaji brings that up because I just finished reading a book called Ethical Machines, and it talks specifically about that the whole baby and senior person when it comes to AI and machine. So that's one of the questions that people are trying to figure out. All right. Question.
Yeah, well, let's take a step earlier in time then. So have the calculations be predictive so that it doesn't end up in a situation where you have to choose me or the baby. Well, seriously, yeah, you're starting at a point in time where this dilemma is going to occur. So let's go earlier in time to predict that these dilemmas, so you don't end up with these dilemmas. Have you read Isaac Asimov's robot books? Required reading for what you're doing. The 3 Laws of Robotics. Read Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics, and that might give insight into what you're trying to do.
You need the 3 laws. 3 laws.
How about programming it for self-destruction if you face such to choose between? I think
All right. All right, guys. Thank you. So, well, first of all, come up on stage, you guys. Everybody. This is the University of Isaac right here. Is this? We need some more up here. You guys want to come up here as well? Just want to show you guys everybody that came out from Japan. Real quick, come on up. All right. Take the photos. Give them a moment. Photos. Do, 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 do. One, two, three, bing, got it. Okay, you guys, thank you. Our next speaker, we have Ray with Zeta and Zeta Web3 and gaming. All right, this is my field right here. I like this. It's just a talk? Just a talk, yeah. Just a talk, okay, go on up. Zeta.
Cool. Hey guys, I don't have a presentation. I'm not
Use the microphone.
started yet
It's really close.
on this. I'm very early in this. This is more of an experiment that I'm working on. So I have been in gaming for the past 2 years, in Web3 for the past 6 years, and one thing that I have kind of trying to figure out is every game has trying to optimize on earning or the revenue on one side and retention on the other side. And there are a bunch of game events which are shot out into the by the game as we play. Let's say I'm playing Candy Crush. I'm matching the tiles 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever, and all these events are coming out. And at some point in time, as a user, I would be interested in getting an in-app purchase to further my journey, or getting support of the virtual currencies or the digital assets out there which I can use in the game. Now, this has been a problem for game, how to optimize. Maybe the bigger players are having tons of money with data analytics people who work on this to solve this problem. But for indie gamers or small and medium games, that's not the case. They struggle with this a lot. So what I'm trying to get is, can I put this data from the games out onto Web3 or a chain? What I call is gaming events on chain rather than gaming on chain. So gaming on chain is like 10 years from now, but gaming events I can put on chain, and then expose this data out for data analytics people or over the people who are there. They can build models on this with all this rich data available and train the models to essentially give feedback back to the game to go and correct the behavior or prompt the user, hey, buy now or do this, or retain the user when they know they're about to drop off, like giving a gift or a token or something else. So that's how, that's where I am at the moment. I'm still very early in the AI phase. I am still trying to get the data out to see how to make sense of it. This data is not available super easily. Most games have a private setup. So yeah, that's where I am. Happy to hear any thoughts, any knowledge, any directions in this where I can go forward. But that's about it. Thanks.
All right, questions for Ray. A couple questions already. Really good. All right, here you go.
Not so much a question, it's just an observation. I've looked at a couple of different Web3 or crypto-connected games, and they really need to be careful. Many of them have a large population of players who are only there because they're earning tokens and hoping to make money, but not actually interested in the game itself. And when something potentially more lucrative comes along, they all leave. So the game has to be good.
Yeah, so one of the things that I am working on or trying to get is get this data from Web 2 games, not from Web 3 games alone. I'm taking the data from Web 2 games and putting it into a decentralized DB or a roll-up, ZK roll-up L3 chain, so that it is immutable. People know that they can trust it, and then they can build models on that, and understanding that this can be not be done. There are more to that. For example, most of the games which has got any of the reward structure has got a lot of fraud and bots and activities coming in. Every game struggles with these user actors in there. Now, that's the other side, how you can essentially predict frauds or hackers out there and then kick them out of the system in a way, right? I mean, gaming as a system is like it's been old since like 30, 60 years now, but we haven't solved this basic problems yet in gaming. And primarily one of the reasons for that is data. The access to data is not available. So today, I think these gaming events, which I'm talking about, is available with the likes of Microsoft with PlayFab or Amazon with GameSparks and some private servers. We don't see this data. Even Web3 games don't have the events data. They have transactions data at best, and that is nothing, right? The events are the ones which gives the direction in which we are going. Where is the user acting? Why they are acting in a certain space? And can this be captured in a sense and form which can then be, in a way, open sourced, right? That can be trusted. That's the goal.
Okay, I guess I'm next. So I worked in games or game adjacent software, and events is not the first thing I would think of when I think of Web3, because you're going to have multiple events per second, maybe, from each player, each user. And that seems like a lot of throughput. And of course, who's going to pay for all that throughput? And is it more expensive? Like, can Web3 handle all this data in an affordable way?
Yeah. So this is going to be a debatable question every time someone proposes this. And I don't have an answer is going to work or not, but what I try to do in the...
You did mention ZK rollups, so that might be the solution.
Yes, I was getting there, thanks. So what we are doing is we are essentially clubbing all the game events. So capturing this game events to a centralized server is not a problem. PlayFab, GameSparks, and all of them are already doing it. We are also going to a stage where games are streaming data real time with millions of pixels going every day. So capturing is not a problem, right? In a centralized server. So the problem happens, okay, if this is not a problem, then where is the problem? Can I commit to the chain real time? Is the chain transactions going to support me? That's the problem. Now, what we are doing in between here is kind of putting a structure here where we capture all the data of a session, not for real-time events, but for a session. Every game is today divided into sessions. Even Candy Crush is one tiles that you are solving in a session, right? So game sessions, we club all those together and put up into a box, which is a ZK rollup, to essentially go back and say, okay, here is the entire session data pushed in one shot. That way we can limit millions of transactions per second to, let's say, a few hundred of transactions per second. And because we are trying to do it async fashion, then it becomes even higher. So I'm not trying to get to a stage I want to go real gaming. That is gaming on chain you're talking about. What I'm trying to do is capture the gaming events and just push it out so it gives gaming events on chain. That's the difference, if I may say that. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, pretty much. Though I have one issue maybe with that. Would it handle it if the game crashes in the middle of... Because it sounds like you're waiting a little bit to send the events up.
So I think those will be the problems we will come through, and we have to fix somehow or the other.
Any more questions?
Ultimate goal.
So the question was, is the goal efficiency and speed? The goal is to, if I put it, build a trustless system, like 100% transparency, where people can know what is going on, find out the bad actors, and reward the good actors using AI. Does that make sense? Answer your question? Or confused you more?
Well, actors meaning
I am a gamer.
the hackers
Yes.
of the games?
Yeah, so actors I'm using for a generic term, good actors, bad actors.
Okay.
So if I'm playing a game manually and I know I'm trying to use my skill to play the game, let's say I was sitting there and playing a bricks game in general, right? So I'm a good actor, I'm trying to play the game by the rules. But then there'll be bad actors who will say, hey, this is going to reward me, or I'm going to get these. So I'll put some bots over there who will start to play by using bots and all those analytics without really having. So let's say there is this happens a lot in esports competitions, right? So because there is a competition happening, there's a reward here. So I will try to put in a hack into the system and try to get some numbers up and try to get up the leaderboard by pushing data, either hacking the game or by using bots or both.
All right, Ray, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Our last speaker, we have Swapnil. Swapnil? Huh? Okay. Understanding agents. All right, so while he gets set up, I want to let you guys know that all of our presenters today took the time to write down their contact info. So if you want to contact them later on, all the information is there. Take a picture, and you can contact them later on, okay? Thank you. I don't know why I always go that way. I'm supposed to go this way.
Hey everyone. Hi. Okay. Hey, hi. My name is Swapnil Patel, and I've been working at Intel as a systems engineer. So I don't work much with the AI, but just trying to optimize hardware for some of the AI workloads. But yeah, so since since GPT-3, I've been wondering. Since GPT-3, I mean, we have had extraordinary capabilities by these LLMs, and there are much more discussions going on around, how compute is increasing exponentially. One of the important charts or predictions done by Ray Kurzweil, is a computer scientist, and he. Some of his predictions have been true, but this is one of the charts where we see that with the machine computational power has been increasing and exponentially increasing. At some point, it would be surpassing human intelligence, a single human intelligence, and there would be a time, I think, in between where it would be surpassing somewhat, molecular intelligence or like a biological intelligence, which is different from, I think, the brain, human brain intelligence. And then, I think by 2045 is when he predicts we will be, machines will be surpassing all of human computation power, right? So I have been interested by this paper, which came out of Stanford, and any of you had chance to read this one? It's called Generative Agents, Interactive Simulacra of Human Behavior. Okay, yeah. So this was a very interesting paper to me, where they, if you have played Sims or similar games, it quite represents something like that, where you would have these different agents that are tasked to follow a different. They have different backgrounds, and they are tasked to follow a different daily routine or tasks, and they have different like objective functions, and they created this like a simulation environment where all of these agents can be controlled with the language models, and then we can just let the simulation play. It would for this
an open source version of the code to actually run this, run the front end and the back end for this tool, and then you can actually create your own environment and simulation and act like a god, where you can change things. You can interact with any of the agent during an instant of time. So yeah, I have less time, but it would be something like this, where I have a simulation running with 3 agents, and currently, they're having, this guy Klaus is having a lunch at a cafe reading a book, and this is his location. It keeps changing, and we can create like different. All right. So all right. So the final idea is to for me to create a project where I can study how this to create a framework expanding the existing one to use other language models as well. So this currently uses OpenAI API and GPT-4, but if we could use the open source LLMs, and then that would give us more search space to study all kinds of interesting things, like how smaller models, agents with smaller models interact with their environment, and form relationships or interact with other agents, and how larger model, if they're placed with poorer circumstances, how they can come up the hierarchy, like social hierarchy.
All right, Swapnil, thank you. Questions? Looks like no. Oh, one question.
It's not like a question for me. I think this agent. So when we play the games, the CPU, NPC is like a computer.
Right.
It's really computer. But when we apply the AI to NPC and we use the VR, the NPC is like a real man. We can feel. Doesn't it? Do we? So I think this agent rapid feel is matches for games, I think. How do you think about it?
Right. I feel not only games, because these models are now out and used by not only in games and as NPCs, but they are used by public, and then most of the people would be using them now, replacing Google and talking to these models every day. They would have some influence power on people as well. So it would be good to understand, if one day this, it would be something like a model combined with human intelligence. So people using smaller model, would they be at a lower advantage than people having access to higher, larger models, or right? So it would change some, the social dynamics, and as well as, we can perform all kinds of experiments related not only to this social hierarchies, but also related to morality, like the morality of if to kill a fat man or not. So,
thank you.
All right, any more questions? All right, Swapnil, thank you. All right, this pretty much concludes Lightning Talks. Again, thank you all for being here, and thanks to all our presenters. And if you want to contact me in the future, I'm going to reiterate that their contact info is on the board, so if you want to follow up with them, it is there. There's been a lot of times where people ask me, hey, how can I contact with so-and-so? I really don't know. So now I told them, please put down your contact info. So there you go, contact them. And for those that are watching on the stream, I'll take a picture of that and post it on Discord. So make sure to join the Discord at hackerdojo.org. The link is down at the bottom. Okay? With everyone else, be excellent to each other. Have a good night.